Hello, everybody. Woo! All right. It is 8 o'clock. It is time to get started. I have been looking forward to this particular, Facebook Live for a couple of days now. We have been chit-chatting and talking with all kinds of different leaders, talking with corporate. So I'm really excited about it. Before we really get going, I want to get oiled up. I don't know about you, but I want to get some oils on. Hello, hello. Oh, I see y'all popping in. Means I did it right. That makes me happy. So I'm putting on a little bit of my deep relief. And I'm going to grab a little bit peace and calming, because I know for some of you guys, peace and calming needs to happen tonight, because I've been getting... See, like, you can't smell peace and calming and then not just take a minute, right? You just got to take a minute for it. So get your oils. Oh. Mental note, just so you know, deep relief and peace and calming smell really yummy together, because I just did that. Hey guys, oh, so good to see all of you. I'm so glad that so many of you have posted that you're excited about it. You're sharing it with your teams, letting everybody know. I am excited because this is such an important topic. Such a huge important topic. So already sitting here, I have done deep relief. I have had a little bit of peace and calming, and I'm going to get out a little bit of common sense. I thought maybe tonight was a good night for a little bit of common sense. How many of you guys grabbed your common sense when you seen it in the post? Right? A little common sense, because that's what we're going to apply. And we're going to own tonight. We are going to own this. You guys, we decided to do this as a 3-part because there's so much on it, and we haven't done it in a really long time. The last time I did a class on what we can say, I'm thinking it was back in 2014, maybe 2015, that I have done a big class online talking about it. And, you know, all kinds of stuff is going around right now with sharing our stories. So I partnered with a few different people. So tonight we have Sarah Harnash, Stacy, and James McDonald. All three of them have partnered with me to do a 3-week series. So tonight it's just me, y'all. That's the only one that's going to be on here. Next week, tonight, let's see, Sarah is doing some stuff with her kids. It is their opening night of one of the plays that they are in, so she's really active with her kids. And James and, what did they have going on? She's preparing for a pregnancy class, and not her pregnancy, but she's preparing to teach it. So she's going to be on the next 2 weeks. They're going to trade with us. So we'll probably switch from a Facebook Live and switch it out to where we are doing a Zoom webinar, because that's a way that we can have a ton of people on there. I am also going old school. I have a regular old-fashioned video recording as well. So just in case the internet does anything hinky, we still have a video recording so that we can post that, so you guys will have that as a tool that you can use forever and ever and ever. So again, if you're just popping in, I have done peace and calming because we need to chill and relax. I have done some deep relief because I'm a little addicted. I love my deep relief. I did a little bit of common sense because, well, you know, right? So over the next 3 weeks, this is what we're going to do. Tonight, I'm going to do some gratitude, and I'm going to talk about some of the gratitude on the things we can say and why we can do it. So if you have gratitude near you, grab some, because we need to get in a place of gratitude. So I'm getting my gratitude out. I'm going to take just a minute, enjoy some of that. Gratitude, you guys. It's a place you need to start every day, from a place of gratitude. All right, so this is how it's going to go down. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing on how you can share your story. I'm going to share a couple of my stories and explain to you, how do I say this? Did you ever play the telephone game when you were younger? Where one person says something and they whisper into somebody's ear, and then that person tells the next person, and they whisper, and then they whisper, and they whisper, and it gets all the way around 28 students. And at the end, what is said and what was said, not the same. Completely different. Everybody laughs. Ha! Well, tonight, I want to help with some of that, because that's what's been going on. We've had, oh, this is what I heard. No, this is what I heard. No, this is what I heard. And so I went ahead and I just kind of went to some sources and I said, all right, Julie Hunter. Julie Hunter is like the head honcho in charge of compliance. And I said, I need some clarity. I'm watching all of my people. I'm watching my people's people. I'm watching people that are just adopted people of mine. And they're saying some things. And I just want to make sure that everything is straight, that it's clear. Right. So we talked for a while. She was super wonderful and answered a ton of questions. And then you're also going to be hearing from Stacy and James in conversations that they had with Matt French. And you're going to hear from Sarah Harnash and just different people that we have checked with to make sure we're telling you straight that this isn't the telephone game. This is just the reality of what we can do and how much freedom there is and the new things that there are some really cool things that have changed, but there's also some things that they're just not going to change. They're just not. So what I went ahead and did, and you guys can do the same thing, is you can check on the FDA's website, and I went to their old warning letter. You guys remember back in 2014 when the warning letter went out, right? And we all freaked out because the warning letter had so many different things that we got called on. And I want to read just a few of them to you so I can explain why some of these things cannot change. That it is not Young Living that's saying, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. This is just some FDA stuff. And I'm going to start here so that I don't ever want to offend anybody. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to hurt your little heart. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to take anything away. I want you to understand how the rules work, okay? So this is the FDA letter, and on it, this at the very first sentence, it says, this is to advise you that in August 2014, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, I'm going to say FDA from here on out, reviewed websites, social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. I want you to go ahead and write those down right now. So they were looking at social media, things like Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Those are the ones they actually pulled information from, all right? So they were looking on these websites, and they said, the FDA has determined that many of your Young Living oil products, such as, but not limited to, and they listed a whole bunch of products. I want to make sure I say the verbiage. I don't want somebody to call me back. Are promoted for conditions that cause them to be drugs. So in the very first beginning of this letter, they're letting us know that on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest, you and I, us, the distributors, we were making claims about our products that turned them into drugs. So by naming a disease and saying that if you use cinnamon, it's going to take care of that disease, we turned them into a drug. Now, I want you to know in no uncertainty how big that was. Like, I am so unbelievably grateful. This is why I said you got to grab your gratitude. And we have to be grateful that Young Living jumped on this. They set up a department to go in and monitor it very quickly. They did it quick. And do you know why they had to do it so quick? I'm telling you, if you read the letter, they were given 15 days to do something about it. 15 days. How many of you have been called to compliance and you had to go in and you had 5 days to get things fixed? If you didn't get fixed by then and you went through all of that stuff, you've gone through having to clean up your site? They did it because they were given the letter first. All right. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is we will never be able to make a direct oil. Here's the oil. I rubbed this oil on and it took care of this disease. That will never happen. So when we're talking about sharing our stories, that's never going to be exactly how it's going to work. You're never going to be able to say, I rubbed this and this went away. That's a disease claim. When we make a disease claim, then it turns it into a drug under the FDA. Do you know what happens if our oils get labeled as drugs? We lose them. They're gone. I don't want to lose them. I want Young Living and our essential oils to be here for our children's children, right? This morning, the reason why we have 3 people doing these together, Sarah and Stacy and James and I, is because we have busy lives, right? Lots of stuff going on. Like right now, this morning, my daughter woke me up to say, hey, Mom, she is 37 weeks pregnant. And she woke me up to say, I'm having issues. The baby isn't moving like she's supposed to. And I had to drop everything I'm doing and go out there. Now, so you guys know, I want you to hear how you say this compliantly. My daughter, 37 weeks pregnant, she has a 2-vessel cord, and what that means is typically when you're pregnant, it's a 3-vessel cord. So you have 2 vessels going in through the umbilical cord that are bringing nutrients, and you have one that's taking out waste. So it's called a 2-vessel cord. When that happens, you can go into labor early. The baby can be really, really small. The baby cannot thrive, so they watch it. They monitor a lot. So she's at the doctor's. She's actually going through midwives, and they do all kinds of ultrasounds, stress tests, all kinds of stuff. And my answer, what I chose to do for my baby girl when she first found out, I said, girl, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I'm going to up my Nutri-Red because I want to make sure I'm getting all kinds of nutrients going on, right? So I'm going to drink some juice. I'm going to do my Pure Protein Complete because she's also a vegetarian, and she wanted to make sure she was getting enough protein. So she's eating all of her other food. She didn't stop eating. She added these to what she was doing, so the baby's getting lots of nutrients to help her out. But she's still going to the doctor. She's still doing all of her testing. And if they tell her that they have to take that baby early, which could have happened today when we were there, and then I wouldn't have been the one teaching the class tonight, we would have figured out one of the other people to do it. But we would have taken care of that, right? So we never claimed that the Nutri-Red and the Pure Protein Complete, cured the 2-vessel cord. It's still just 2 vessels. We just found a way to be able to add some nutrients. And today when she was freaked out, and the baby wasn't moving, as soon as I seen her, I pulled out my Peace and Calming, you guys. Now, my Peace and Calming helped my baby to be able to chill and to be able to relax. So while they were doing the stress test, she wasn't freaking out as much. But you won't see me post on Facebook, Peace and Calming took care of anything. All I did is help her to be able to relax because in the moment, she's in the doctor's care. These are the things that we can say. Do you think the Peace and Calming was big for her today? Oh, you bet your Bippy. She was freaking out. She was like, Mom, what if? Oh, my goodness. She was worried. So I'm going to give her a little Peace and Calming, a little love. As a matter of fact, the nurse wanted a little love too. I'm just saying, we have to learn how to be able to share our story, right? So I love the question. You've always been able to say that. So what's changed? All right. So I'm going to go back to the letter. All right. So what's changed? Well, obviously can't name diseases. So that hasn't changed. We can't, where's the other ones? When you read in here a little bit further, because I highlighted stuff so you guys, I would be able to make sure you said. So on Facebook, on social media, on Twitter, it keeps posting different things that they've seen on these different places. So all of this is out and about and there without any claims. So some of the things that are changing, and this is our changing. Okay, so the word are means that this is in the future. This is not in this moment. Some of the things is Young Living is going to get a little more aggressive with the claims that they're giving us to be able to share. So that's powerful. Like on our sulfurzyme, it literally has the word inflammation now. Is that a big deal? Oh my gosh, that's huge. So we can talk about that with inflammation because it's on the bottle. So they're getting more aggressive with the claims that they make because what they have done is they took all the notes that were given to them in the FDA and then they're making sure there's enough studies to show that it's there. Another thing that's going to be changing is they're going to give us more categories. So if you go in and you're going to order product and you type in digestion and you can type in, digestion and what will be happening. Again, will be is when? In the future. It's something that's coming. We'll have categories. So when you type in digestion, it will pull up things like digest and cleanse. It will pull up things like the cleansing trio, stuff that's already been approved to say that it works with digestion. Now, that's a big deal. That's something that's going to be powerful for us. So nothing, I know it's not what you want to hear. Nothing really changed. The rules are still the same because the rules weren't set by Young Living. Okay? The rules are set by a government agency, and we have to abide by those rules. But things that have changed is Young Living in their aggressiveness to make sure we all got compliant on our social media so that our Facebook was clean and our Twitter was clean and our websites were clean. They started really going after anything, including little things like anybody get dinged because you talked about the toothpaste and using it as deodorant, right? They're not going to be looking for things like that. They're not going to be searching for you saying that you took lemon essential oil and you used it to get a sticker off. I know, we laugh at that. It's silly. But in the beginning, they went super, super tight. So they're relaxing some of what they're looking for so that we don't have to feel like we're stepping on eggshells, which is huge. And I want to encourage you to do this. I've been able, some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I have a couple things going on. When I was introduced to Young Living, I had a stroke. It left me with droop to the face, clarity issues, speech issues, and no strength on one side of my body. And when I was introduced to Young Living, and when we first started sharing, my story was completely, I literally would say, I had raindrop oils put on my neck, and in a matter of 25 minutes, every single symptom from my stroke went away. Every single symptom went away. And I shared that all the time. I told people, because in my opinion, when something good happens to you, you have a moral obligation to say it. So, but when you look back at it, what Young Living is asking us to do, what the FDA is telling us we have to do, is that we have to learn how to share the whole story. Because the truth of that night that was not the only thing that happened. The truth is that night, my girlfriend put peppermint in my water, and I drank that, and it was gross. I'm like, oh, it's disgusting. It's so hot. I don't like it. And I reached for the same thing that I always drank, which was diet soda. And don't you judge me. We all came from different places, right? So I reached for my diet soda, and I went to get it. And my friend is like, no, you can't drink that. It's so bad for you. You know, make the oils go deeper. And she just freaked me out. So the whole night they were there, the whole afternoon, I kept drinking water, trying to rinse this horrible flavor of peppermint out of my mouth. I'm like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. So I was drinking water, and by the end of the time we were talking, my belly was sloshing, you know, and I got to be honest, up until that day, I drank 2 liters of Diet Coke every single day and not a drop of water. I know, don't judge me. Not a single drop of water. So I don't know if it was finally having water in my life. I have absolutely no idea. Other things that happened that night. My mother had cancer throughout her body. She had breast cancer that had moved throughout her lungs. It was everywhere, right? So her breathing all of these oils in, she was having an amazing experience. I didn't like them. They gave me a headache. I didn't like the smell. But she had hope for the first time in such a long time. Amy, I'm explaining this. This is how I'm able to say it, because what I was saying was not okay. I could not say that the raindrops took the stroke away because I didn't take into picture the whole story. The whole story was, I drank water for the first time in a long time, a lot of water. My mom had hope. Thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are things. After I had the raindrops put on me, I went downstairs and I got on my knees in front of God saying, Father God, show me something other than these stupid oils. It cannot be, you know, this whole new age thing, you know, make my mom hold on. You know, it was just so much prayer. Prove to me. Right? So I was on my knees in prayer. My mom had hope. I drank water. I asked for an answer from Father God. To this day, I have never seen, I've been in since 2007. This is when this happened. I have never seen anybody else put the raindrops on their neck and all of their symptoms from stroke go away. Never. So me saying that's the whole story, it's not even fair to somebody for them to have that perception. My life was radically and dramatically changed that night, and I don't know why. I don't know which piece it was. I don't know if it was the water. I don't know if it was the thoughts. I don't know if it was the prayer. I don't know. But I know it was changed. And in that story, that's a whole truthful story. Right? So it wasn't raindrops took away symptoms. It was in that night when my friend thought enough of me to share. My life was radically changed, and it was all those pieces put together. I don't know which one. I know that when I came into Young Living, I started making lots of different stories. I mean, lots of different changes in my life, and I've seen so many amazing things. I'm going to post in this discussion when we're done the story of me finding out I had MS and what I've done to get out of the wheelchair and all of the different things. And I want you to read it, not looking for an answer for MS, because it's totally my journey. It literally is my road to wellness. And it talks about dietary changes I made because I didn't know. I thought Fruit Loops and Diet Coke were good for you, okay? everybody comes from a different place. But I changed my diet. I started drinking water. That's the only thing that I drink now, other than sleek tea and my Ninja Red drink. Like, those are the only things that I drink. So understanding that if you will share your story with all of its parts and pieces, right? So one of the things for me, for MS, was getting myself out in the sun on a regular basis, getting high amounts of vitamin D, getting rid of all the toxins. Oh, you guys, seriously, Fruit Loops and Diet Coke were some of the better things I'm gonna eat. Like, I came from a completely different place, a different mentality. So those change. But when we introduce people to Young Living, there's so many parts and pieces that we have to share and things that we learn. Like when you go to convention, when you used to listen to Gary Young on stage, it was more than just a drop of oil, right? It was more than that. And we have to learn to incorporate the whole story. Make sure it is factual. Make sure it has all the parts and pieces. If you are dealing with whatever your issue is and you used I just got off oxygen, right? So we'll go back to a story about me. I was on oxygen because MS was causing some problems with my ability to basically expel carbon. I wasn't able to breathe out correctly. And for me, I started using a bunch of the oils that were super comforting to me. They just made me feel comfortable. They made me relax. I had to learn how to, I had to go to physical therapy to learn how to do some breathing exercises so I could get that going on. Brian was doing oils all over my body, my back, my neck, around my ribs, because they would warm up and I felt good when I was using them. He was doing the raindrops and some Copaiba and some deep relief and Palo Santo. Palo Santo was one that when I smell it, I'm at peace. It's comforting. So that's part of that story. It wasn't just, and I was on oxygen. I was working with a physician. They knew what I was doing and so many parts and pieces. There were supplements that I was taking and all of those bits and pieces. So if you go to ShannonHudsonYL.com, which is my website, you'll see the different stories on there, and I share the whole thing. So when you are sharing on your Facebook and on your Twitter and on your, I don't even know what they're all called, Pinterest, because I'm not a big computer girl, but when you are sharing on those things, you have to give the big picture. Like, what all happened? What are the things that changed? What are the other things that you did? And I've had friends come up and say, I don't know, I had cancer and I did XYZ and that's the only thing that I changed. Really? Because your thoughts change too. Because you thought, what if? See, it's always more than a drop. It always is. People are like, I did just this, and when I did just this happened. But you got to realize there was more to that story. There is so much freedom when you start telling the whole picture of what's changed in your life. There is so much freedom. And you'll notice any class that I ever teach, always, I talk about sunshine. I talk about removing toxins. I talk about exercise. I talk about water. I talk about the eating from the rainbow of foods. Do you know why? Because even the Cancer Society, the Diabetes Society, they all agree with those basic things as well. Those are basic health tenets that we think, oh, everybody knows. But like I told you, everybody doesn't know. I was eating Fruit Loops and diet soda, and I thought I was making a better choice because I wasn't getting the sugar. Who knew what that diet soda and those chemicals were doing to me, right? So you have that freedom and know that Young Living is partnering with us and they want us to get out there and start sharing our story, the whole story, all of the parts, all of the pieces, what you've done, you know what? Your ups and your downs. I think for some crazy reason, we get into Young Living and we think everything should be perfectly perfect in every way. We think nothing bad will ever happen. I'll never have this gone, and I'll be this, and if I do this, you know what? That's just not life. It's not real. And it also sets people up with this false expectation. So they get a sniffle and they're like, oh my gosh, it didn't work, she said. You were setting them up for a false expectation, right? We have to learn how to tell the whole story and set people up to succeed. Right? In the next 2 weeks when we're doing stuff, we're also going to be talking about what we can say with income claims. Because Julie Hunter said, this is what you have to know. The only thing they're really going to be searching for and looking for are direct disease claims. So I rubbed oils on my neck and my arthritis went away. I rubbed oils on my neck, on my knee, and oh my gosh, it all grew back together and there's cartilage and it's just amazing. Right? So they're looking for direct disease claims. So you can't say, you know, I had arthritis and I drank Ninja Red and the arthritis went away. That is a direct claim to those two things because like I said, it is never just the one thing. Even if you're saying, but Shannon, seriously, all I did is start drinking Ninja Red and my pain really went away. I promise. I'm going to take you back to you thought it might. Okay? So I'm not saying oils are placebo, but I am telling you our mind is powerful. Oh, look it up. Our mind is powerful. God gave us, oh, y'all, I'm not even going to go preaching, but I am telling you right now, God gave us beautiful, amazing cells. They hear what we say, they hear what we think, and they act in kind. I'm just saying, you changed other things. And when we start incorporating those things, we get free. We get so much freedom. You can say, oh my gosh, I was at this class. I learned what the possibility was. I started drinking some of that juice. I started upping my water because I heard how important the water was. And I am moving better. I feel, I'm seriously, I'm feeling like, do you see the difference? It's all the parts and pieces. And when we share that, we can share all of it. We can talk, Julie said we can talk about specific oils, about specific supplements, as long as you say the whole thing, right? This you got to share all of those parts and those pieces. And things that you think might not make a difference, like you're still drinking soda, but you're doing at least some water every day. Talk about that. That change, that is more real. That's the type of thing that people can go, oh, I can do that. When we make them feel like it's all or nothing, they feel like they can't do anything, so why try? We're making them feel like failures. Like, oh, it didn't work for me. I don't know why. I thought I did. Or I can't do all of that. Oh my gosh. You want me to take this? No, I want you to do what you feel right for you. I want you to research for you. I want to help empower you. One of the things we're doing in the next 3 weeks is talking about your resources. There are so many resources in how we can share them, how we can teach them, and how we can empower people. Right? Because I want people to be able to duplicate it. I want people to see, oh my gosh, I'm trying to read you guys' stories so they're popping through too fast. But the other thing, so direct disease claims, can't do it, right? We can't diagnose. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I'm Shannon. The only initials next to my name are M-O-M. That's all I got right there, right? So I don't try to do any of that. I don't try to treat anybody. If someone says, oh my gosh, Shannon, I have itchy buttitis. What do I do for itchy buttitis? I'm like, oh my gosh, itchy buttitis? Are you kidding me? How long have you been dealing with that? That's crazy. You need to go see a doctor about that. That is just not, I wouldn't know what to do for that. But I know that in the meantime, you should change and get rid of some of that crap that you've been drinking. Those Fruit Loops, that is not going to do you any favors, my friend. You need to start drinking some water. You'd be amazed. Just drinking some water, that itchy buttitis, you don't even know what could happen with that. You know what else you could play with? We got some great oils that are just good for the skin. Do you see that roll over? I didn't say, take this, it's going to cure your itchy butt. I didn't say, this is this. I said, just play with some of that stuff. Give some options. There's some great resources. And I lead them to the source, right? In that kit that we're talking about, you can get started with. There are some great ones for skin. You might want to rub that out on your way to the doctor. I'm just saying, itchy buttitis, we joke about it. It's funny. But people come to you with so many different things, right? They come to you. And we're not, even if you were a doctor, so I'm not a doctor. I really have no letters next to my name, right? So that's not my thing. I don't know what would happen. What did I tell you about my stroke? In all the years, I've never seen anybody else do exactly what I did and all of their symptoms go away. I haven't seen it. So how can I make that implication for anybody else? I just know my story, what it's done for me, even with MS, with everything that I've dealt with there, getting out of the wheelchair. I don't know what anybody else needs. I know the things that I did. I know the dietary changes I made. I know cleaning up my entire environment and getting rid of chemicals and using other healthy stuff for my hair and getting rid of all that garbage and all my savvy on my face. And I truly believe that all of that has something to do with the health and where I am today. Right? So putting it all together, putting peppermint there. Yes. Oh, James, are you available to pop on right now? Because you can pop in here. We still have time. The other direct claim, if you can, just add yourself. is income claims. So the two things that Young Living is going to be looking for, like aggressively looking for, are direct claims, not just oil claims. So you can't say you did the juice and it did this. You can't say I started taking BLM, sulfurzyme, and omega Gi's, and oh my gosh, and talk about your arthritis disappearing magically, right? So that's a direct claim. But you can say, so we'll go right there with the BLM, sulfurzyme, omega Gi's. So on each of those things, so I can't say it took away my arthritis, but I can read the labels and the claims that Young Living has on the website. So like on our, this is a great example, our Cool Azul Pain Relief Cream. So I can talk all day about pain, right? So pain, oh my gosh, you have pain, girl, play with this one, see what it does for you, because it says it right on there. And on the back, it tells you, it says, I'm going to actually read it for you on the side. It says, Young Living's Pain Relief Cream provides penetrating and cooling relief for minor muscles and joint aches, arthritis, strains, bruises, and sprains. So is this something we can tell somebody that has arthritis? Oh my gosh, like I don't know what you should do for arthritis. You definitely want to follow up with a doctor, because again, you're not a doctor, and I never want to stop somebody from following up with their physician, right? They need to take care of themselves. But in the meantime, you could play with some of the Cool Azul. You can put that right on your little hands, on your joints, on your knees, you know, wherever you got that going on. And it says, so it continues, if you read, it says, our plant-based formula combines the power of wintergreen, ba-boom, wintergreen, with our exclusive Cool Azul blend. Ba-bam, we're going to talk about that in a second, while remaining free of synthetic ingredients, getting lasting comfort that you can feel. So I can talk about this, and I make sure to let them know that in this beautiful product, who loves this one? This is like right now, I've got one over here, I've got one in my purse, because when I'm out and about and somebody's got something going on, I can give a little love. I can say, here, rub this on, let's see. But in here, you have these two. Now, the drug facts. So when you read on here, it says, drug facts, active ingredients is methyl salicylate, 12.5%, and menthol, 2%. So in here, we have these guys right here. And then I like to point out the reason why these have the child-proof caps on here is because they're so amazing and so potent. So I can talk all day about pain with this one. But with this one, I can say it's super soothing to the muscles. This one, I can say, if you got arthritis, this is going to give you a little bit of comfort when you do that. With this one, I can't mention arthritis. This is still Cool Azul, but this one is the oil, and it doesn't have the claim. When I say Young Living is going to be taking care of us and getting some more aggressive claims, this is what I'm talking about. This is why on the sulfurzyme, it says inflammation, right? So I can talk about our Cool Azul. I love that smell. Oh, I can talk about that all day long, and I can let them know these are the two main things that are in here. And then you can go a step further and you can talk about the oils that are in this, because the oils that are in here are what's in here, right? So if I go over these single oils, I'm just saying there's ways that we can educate that. So if I were talking to somebody who said, I have the arthritis, what should I do about my arthritis? I can tell them, girl, you need to go to the doctor. They can take care of the arthritis for you. But in the meantime, you can get yourself some of this and rub this everywhere. See how you feel when you're using it. It's amazing. In addition to that, we got some other stuff you can play with. It's things like our sulfurzyme helps with some of that inflammation. Going to help with that a little bit. So check that one out. Another one you might want to look at is we've got one called BLM, bones, ligaments, and muscle. You know, that might help in the meantime. Some things that you can play with while you're working with your doctor. You can take them with you to the doctor, see what he says, you know, because they're just the food for those different joints. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this week a class just on pain and inflammation, what can you say? Because I think it's a big category, and I don't think you all know all the great claims and things that we already have that we can say, because Young Living has been adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff, and we're just not keeping up with all the cool, amazing changes that they're already making for us. So again, what are the two things Young Living's going to look for? I'm going to watch. Whoever types them in there first, I might do something for you. I got the arthritis. All right, I'm going to tell you anyways. Yeah. Sarah, you've never heard of BLM? Y'all, we got to be about the business of teaching and training and the products that we have. BLM, amazing product. Definitely have to get that out there for you. So the 2 things, ready? I'm going to wrap up here in just a few minutes because I want to keep these nice and short. Julie Hunter, direct disease claims. And that's whether it's an oil or whether it is, yes. And income claims, good job. Those are the 2, Marla and, I missed somebody, and Jenny. All right, those are the 2. Make sure you message me afterwards. I got something for you. I don't know what, something good. But anyway, and income claims. So I'm going to do 2 seconds on income claims. First of all, I like to teach from the income disclosure statement. I love the reality of what our income statement shows people, and that's the one that I like to teach from. I'm pretty sure I already have a class up on that, so I might just pop that in here so you guys can watch it. But when it comes to an income claim, first of all, always, every claim you make has to be true. It has to be the whole story. It has to be coming from a place of integrity. So it has to, for income claims, it has to show your hard work. Like, you can't be like, oh, it's just magical. I just woke up one morning and I was diamond, right? There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. There's a lot of time that goes into it. There's money that you invest while you're building your business. We have to share that whole thing. So a lot of people think that they can say, oh, just pay cash for a house and here's the income disclosure. Thanks, young living. But it really has to be more than that. It needs to be, what a blessing it's been that all this hard work I have put into it, it has been worth it. Like my life, Shannon Hudson, my life has been radically and dramatically changed in every aspect of my life, financially, abundance, health-wise, right? Nutritionally, it has been changed hugely. I was a toilet bowl cleaner from Flint, Michigan. And now I get to travel the world as a Diamond with Young Living. Like, that's a radical change. But I worked my booty off for that. I talked to a ton of people. I stayed up till late in the night, early in the morning. I ran hardcore for a good 6 years to get that kind of a lifestyle. So it doesn't just happen overnight. And people need to do that. And again, I want you to know, I think we think if we make people think it's super easy, they'll want to do it with us. But I think instead you're just setting people up to fail. Because they're like, but I did that. And it's not happening for me. I don't know how many people I spoke to through the years. I don't know. Because you only remember the ones that stay in. But the time was put out there anyways. The time of people that sign up and then they quit. And people that say they're going to do it and then they don't do anything. And the people that get a flip kit and then disappear from the universe and never pay for the flip kit, right? Those things happen. And if we make it seem like it's just all roses and unicorns and butterfly boofers, right? they have an expectation that isn't real. I want you to know you can build this to Royal Crown Diamond. 100%. Income claims, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. But only less than 1%. I would say probably less. There's like 50 Royal Crown Diamonds in all of Young Living. Like 50 out of millions. Very few people are willing to do the work and keep doing the work and stick with it when they don't want to do it anymore. When they're tired, when their feelings have been crushed beyond belief. Because it will happen. People will be mean to you. People will say no. People will sign up and then transfer to somebody else's group. All of those things are real. But the same is true of every business that you're in. The difference is how far can you go in another business? Right? If you work a traditional job, you're going to have people that are mean to you. If you work a traditional job, you're going to have days you love it and days that you hate it. If you work a traditional job, you're putting in the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what you couldn't afford to live on. That's traditional. Network marketing is not traditional. But it takes time. It takes effort. And if you keep sharing and you keep doing and you keep changing just a little bit and you keep growing and you keep educating yourself and doing it again and educating others and doing it again, you will see that sooner or later, if you just don't quit, you can make it all the way to the top. And it's not your education. It's not your past. Your past does not determine how far you can go. It's how hard are you going to work? How many people are you going to talk to? How often are you going to talk to them? Are you going to do it fast? You're going to do it slow. There's Royal Crown Diamonds that did it, I think, like 18 months. It might be even less than that now, right? But then there's people who have been with Young Living since it became Young Living. We're going on 25 years. And they haven't made it to Royal Crown Diamond. There's ones that it took 20 years to make it to Royal Crown Diamond. Do you think it's still worth it if it took you 20 years? Hello? Have you seen the income disclosure statement? I'll be posting it at the end of this. I'm just saying, when it comes to sharing, share the whole story. Don't hold the stuff back. Don't think that you have to be perfect and they have to be perfect. And if they rub this one oil or they call you and go, I did this and it didn't work, be like, awesome, you found one way that didn't work. Let's do it again. Let's try something else. Let's twist. Let's change. Let's see what we can do. I'm just saying, if you will get in the habit of every time you share something, especially, wish I could underline things, especially on social media. I read to you what happened, right? I read to you, where did they say they found the information that had to be changed? They didn't say in Shannon's bedroom when she was talking to her mom. It's not where the claims were found. They didn't say that the claims were found around the dining room table when so-and-so was telling her cousin about whatever. It's social media. We have to make sure that our social media, if you're posting a picture, that it does not have a disease and that disease went away because of a direct product that you used. It's got to be the big picture. I'm just saying. All right, you guys, I am at the 40-minute mark. So if you have any quick questions, I'm going to sit here and stare at the screen. You can't treat or diagnose exactly. Yep, claims. Screen's not rolling as you guys are typing, I don't think. Ooh, let's see. You know what? Maybe. Oh, I caught up. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, those are the places to find it. And on people's websites, right? We just have to make sure that our story is always truthful. It does not diagnose. It does not treat. Nothing. It has to be the whole picture, the whole story. So if you would like, I will, for like the next 15 minutes, be under, I'll be on this video. So if you have questions, I'll be answering questions. I will be on the page. And next week, we will be starting at 8 o'clock. We will have 4 of us on here, though, unless my daughter goes into labor, in which case, see you later. But the 4 of us will be on here. So we're probably going to do it as a Zoom webinar. So just watch. The link will pop up right at 8 o'clock. So you guys can pop in. It shouldn't change anything for you guys. And we are going to record them anyways. Yeah, we can't. Okay, so I seen somebody said, can we say things like headache? We can't say migraine. Okay, so we can't say migraine, but you can say, oh my gosh, for the occasional head tension, occasional head pressure, you can say that. You can say, like I said, for everything I had going on with the breathing stuff that I was doing, I didn't say I used this for breathing problems. I said that I used my Raven and like my RC, and it was super comforting, super soothing. So those are some things you can do. Hang on, let me slide down. How long will this be viewable? I don't think I'm ever gonna delete them. I will keep them in this, and then we will also get them posted. I don't know where all they'll be, YouTube, but we will let you know in this. It will for sure be here for the next 3 weeks. You are welcome, if you know how, because I don't, to download them from this and share it with anybody else. You know what I mean? So if you want to share it in your team, this video, I don't care. Take this, duplicate it. Whatever you want to do with it. The only way it will get pulled down and closed where y'all can't see it is if Julie tells me something was not okay, because I wouldn't want to teach you guys something inappropriate. Let's see. How do I get my team members to share their stories? Girl, that's a class for another time. That is a whole nother one. But giving people the freedom by letting them know all the stuff, because I think we've gotten where we're afraid to say, like, I don't want to say asthma. Asthma's a disease. I can't talk about asthma. But if you are drinking more water, if you're doing salt, did you know that just doing sea salt helps? It's a mucoid, right? So it helps to digest some of the mucus going on. So salt is not a Young Living product. Water is not a Young Living product. Baking soda, breathing in some baking soda and boiling water. So you're doing the baking soda, you have that boiling, so you got that going on. You're putting some minerals in there. You're drinking more water, and you're playing with your Raven, right? So you're playing with your Raven or your RC or whatever oils that are comforting. Eucalyptus globulus, you know, that's the aroma that you get if you were to use a traditional menthol type look. So you're doing all of those things, and you shared that you're breathing freer, that you're feeling better. You can share that. You can literally say, I have been doing all 17 of these things and I am feeling better. Like, I feel like I'm breathing better. This is really exciting. Because again, it's not I used eucalyptus took XYZ away. That's what we can't do. It's got to be the whole kit and the caboodle. So can I say I felt pressure in my head and I used the oil? It was so soothing. You can, but did you also close your eyes? Did you also relax for a little bit? Did you get quiet for a little bit? Did you, it's the whole, we're looking for still a whole story of things. Depression, your mind is beautiful things, positive thoughts. Someone apply comforting oils. Is it legal to? No. Okay, I'm so glad you asked, Kristen. It's not legal to say, I used lemon and my depression is gone. Because again, what we don't want is someone to go, oh, I have depression. I'm going to stop all of my medication and I'm just going to use lemon and I'm going to be perfectly fine. Right? So we want there to be, for me, it has been a major change. So I'm just going to tell you a story. This is not accurate. I have not dealt with depression. I'm going to give you a story so you can understand what it has to be. So for somebody, first of all, that's going through that, they need to follow up with their doctor. That is always my answer. If somebody is dealing with depression, you need to go to your doctor. I wouldn't be able to tell you anything to do for that. In the meantime, girl, have you changed? Have you started doing some water? Like, I start with water all the time because I really didn't know. And I assume if I didn't know, other people may not know. So I talk to people about the water, right? How important it is, getting that in there. Hydration changes everything. Your brain will work better when you're drinking water. My goodness. Do you know that there are studies that say just getting your butt outside and moving 3 to 5 minutes, as little as 3 to 5 stinking minutes, can make a difference in how you feel when you're feeling that sadness come on you, right? So you can get out there and get some movement going on. Oh, when you're doing that, take some of that lemon and breathe that in, because lemon is like happy in a bottle. Start doing some of that with it. Do you see the difference? First, I'm telling them to go back and see who they need to see. Who do they need to see? They need to do this with a medical professional, because you're not what? You're not a doctor. Water should be included in anything when you're talking to people. You're sad, drink some water. You're happy, drink some water. You're mad, you better drink some water. I don't care what it is. I just feel like God intended for us to be hydrated, right? It's so important. And this is an easy thing that even as a brand new person, we can talk about water. It's an easy addition. So you can't say one disease and an oil. I don't care what disease it is. Everybody's body responds different. So one oil that works for me might not work for you. Like, all right, don't kick me out of Young Living, but I don't like lavender, right? Don't kick me out. It's just not an oil I like. I'm just saying, we don't know what's the thing. This is why I love teaching the kit. There's 12 different oils to play with and see what happens to you. I'm just saying. All right, you guys, I am 2 minutes over what I wanted to do. So we will be back. I will be on here for the next half hour answering questions, not in here, but on there. Talk to you later. God bless.